Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Theo van Elsen, and I'm technical assistant for Mr. Backup in a Cape Town head office. Okay, I solely work on Spar, so my knowledge to Spar is quite vast and great, as Spar is one of Mr. Backup's first clients to be with Mr. Backup, and from there onwards they've expanded with more clients and more clients and more clients, and the Spars get more and more and more. And I'm designated to work with Spar. Okay, I'm going to start taking off from the morning. A report gets generated from Radical and gets sent out to each and everybody, and I grab mostly the Spar report to define what issues might come up with the Synology is our system that we've installed in most of the Spars. So after that, we pick out mainly from the Spars. We mainly go to the failures. The failures is high priority because if the backup did not run, the company would really want the backups. So first of all, we look at the failures. Secondly, we look at the stops. These units go out, stop, fail. It's human error. Somebody comes along, pull out the plug, and the unit couldn't fire off, and that is get generated by a report, which is then sent to me by the morning. So we look at fails, we look at stops, and after that, skip files. With files that skip. Skip for various reasons. There are numerous reasons why files would go skip. And after the report, I will go through with you as I take the Spars one by one. For failures, it's quite simple. We try to find the unit. Mostly what we use is a command prompt, CMD, and that is a nifty little tool. Okay, you can do everything with it. As trained technicians, you should know what you can do all with CMD. Okay, CMD is the little tool, mostly a toy for most of us, that you can run your computer with it. You can do damage with it. And for this nifty little tool, it does exactly what we need. And as troubleshooting goes for everything, okay, we troubleshoot every day of our lives. Hypothetically, your phone don't start or freeze screen up, you shut down your phone, you reboot your phone, troubleshooting. Okay? It happens in everyday life, even in your house. Tap don't close properly, you open the tap, you close it, it still drips, you need a washer. Okay? So then, after troubleshooting, we use mainly command prompt. We use, you can use IP, okay? And then you can use tracing. And the last one that you can use for that, to find it. The last one you use for that is pinging. Okay, you can just simply ping the box. We'll shoot up the whatever goes on there, and then after that, it actually gives you a time. It shoots four messages across. Okay, shoot four messages come back within 54 to 128 milliseconds, which is like come back. There's 4 shot, 3 come back, 1 failure, 4 shot, 4 come back, no failure. So that means the unit is there, the unit's online, you can work on it. Okay. Secondly, phone up the store. Okay, you need to notify the store. Okay, if it's just a simple one, once we back up the failure, we call it the routine checkup on the backups, which is quite fair because it is a routine. It haven't failed. It's the first time it's failed, and we need to see why that failed. Alright, getting on the server, that's using IP. Okay. We use IP to get on the server, and we use Dimeware as software. Okay, that is another handy little crafty tool that we use to log on to servers. Okay, we use TeamViewer and Dimeware mostly to log on to various client services. Now, once you get on the unit, you get through the client server. Okay, you're on the client server, and on the client server you can find out first of all, when you open a DO3 tool, you will go straight away to logs. Go to logs, see your logs will spit out exactly what happened. Okay, backups have failed due to lack of space. Backups have failed because the request was aborted at 7 o'clock in the morning. Somebody from Spar comes in, he cancels the backup because the backup's still busy running. And that comes in back as a fail to us. I mean, as the report was generated, it's a fail. It is necessary to have a look why it failed. Okay. So now that you find the fault, maybe the task didn't start. The data replicator have got a task scheduler, okay, which schedule kick off the backup automatically when it should happen, which is mainly programmed to do that. If the task scheduler fails, you got to restart the task scheduler, go into services, restart that, stop it. If it started already, you stop it, restart that, you get the services going, trigger off the task scheduler so it will run on the next time automatically all by itself. Okay. For files, for hypothetically, if the request was aborted, phone up the store and say, look, we've noticed in the report that your backups have stopped, and it's the first time that it stopped, so we need to talk to the manager, somebody in the admin office that's working with your computers, and we log into the server one more time. If the backups was aborted, we call up the client and say, look, somebody cancelled your backups at 7:05 this morning, and your backups did fail because of that. The client then say thank you very much, but then of course that is it. Okay, then part of this is to help PK, the installation technician, to help PK, okay, on standby, when you go out and do installs, that the install doesn't take too long and the setup is done correctly. PK goes out to the client, install the unit. While he's busy mounting the unit, can configure the box, load up the necessary configuration settings, email, SMTP, what is it? Yeah, SMTP ports, and that will then help him just to speed up his whole process with installations with a backup server. Okay. Once that is done, we mainly check out. We've got an administration password there, which mainly get put in for administration. We've got our own SMTP that we use. We've got to make sure that the data replicator in Windows is set up properly. We check out for consistency sync. Check if all the files, deleted files, corrupted files is backed up to some time. Okay, so all of this is happening when PK does installations, and wow, that is pretty much in a nutshell that I do. The backup to the extent of working with Spar. There are the skip files that I'm using. The skip files, there are skip files in various Spars, and they skip for various reasons. One could be the file name is too long, or access is denied, where the client goes and changes the administrator access to these files and folders, that the backup server does not have access to those files, so the files didn't come up as failures that is not been backed up, which come back as a skip file, a failure skip file. And yeah, that's just pretty much as I do for Mr. Backup.
Thank you.
Okay.
Question.
Questions, James? James?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. Is there any questions you want to ask regarding this?
No, I think you covered everything regarding the backup software as well.
Okay. Good.
Okay. Is there a reason why we cannot connect via Dameware on the spars out of the country like we do on the ones inside the country? Why do we have to use TeamViewer only?
Yes, Dameware. Okay, you actually got me there. It's a very good question. Dameware is it's distance that it travels. Okay, so from an IP perspective, we use Dameware and we use IP, and the IP range can stretch as far as it can, but the access to get there with the actual Dameware tool, the distance and time that it takes to get there will fire back as a failure, because then TeamViewer is used all around the world. I mean, there are other software and tools that they are used to to log on to service. But TeamViewer and Dameware is probably one of the first that arrived on logging on to service before TeamViewer. But TeamViewer is not too long on the market, but it does the job, and it actually goes worldwide, if I can say it that way. So it's much easier and less painful to log on with TeamViewer and a long distance than what you can use Dameware. Question, Jesse?
To answer the question, spars on an MPLS network, and any remote application that you use within a what's the word I'm looking for? Enclosed network, private network like a VPN or a larger MPLS network like spars works on what's the word I'm looking for now?
I think just to simplify it, is that the ones out of the country are completely
they in certain cases we do have access to certain spars that are on VSAT connections in like the ones that we have in Botswana. I think there's 3 or 4 there, but the connection is extremely slow and it just doesn't work. That's why they use TeamViewer, because each spar has the MPLS network and their own ADSL network, and the TeamViewer would utilize that connection, and you can connect the spar from it.
How many spars do you look after, Theo?
Total of 240 spars. We had a couple of new installs, which is not on the list, and there are spars that are being backed up by Mr. Backup that is not on a VPN list, or we're not monitoring.
That we're not monitoring?
We're not monitoring. Which have them as the backup tool, and the backup is running fine on these stores, but they are not on the report, they are not generated on the report.
On the SPAR MPLS report or our report?
On our report.
Okay, don't you think we should address that?
We should.
So how would you escalate that?
I de-escalated to Angie yesterday, and
How long has this been happening for?
I'm not sure. It's the very first time I heard of the spot. It's the very first time I heard.
Which spot?
The list I gave you yesterday. You gave me a list and I sent it back to
Yeah,
you.
we haven't got a unit.
And Pondweni one is I
Yes.
saw that I've never heard of.
I've never heard of it. It got a unit there and
There's no
it's
unit
back
there.
now.
It's no unit.
Okay, we'll look at that offline. What's in your mind, what is the difference between backing up the SPAR store servers and backing up the users on their PCs?
But to mention the users, we also back up the users. The difference between a SPAR server and a user.
Just explain in your own understanding what the difference between the two services would be and how the backup jobs might be different, set up for a user as opposed to the servers.
Okay, for the user, we back up to C drive and we back it up to, oh God, you guys, I forgot that, honestly.
Okay, and the server, is there
Uh,
a specific template or standard that you use? Do you set up the schedule at a special time?
Yeah, the schedule is set at a special time.
What time would that be?
Stores goes off at 2 o'clock in the morning. As for the tops, they are scheduled for 4 o'clock. What is it?
And what kind of data do you back up on the store servers there?
Oh, on a store server, you get mostly the D store. The end of day. You got
Where is the end of, what are the typical folders that you select?
folders. Typical folders would be share folders, users, desktop.
No, I'm talking about the server.
Okay.
What are the typical folders that you'd select on a server for a normal Spar backup? Store servers.
There's a store servers. That's the mainly the desktop and
Really?
yeah.
Okay.
And
And,
what drive would it be?
Yeah.
What other drive would you back up from?
The S drive,
What's the most important?
the S drive, which is the store line server, is the main thing to be backed up on the Spars. Yeah.
So what is your biggest frustration on a day-to-day basis in trying to find problems and solutions to those problems? Can you just talk us through a typical problem? How would you diagnose a problem and how do you go about solving it?
When it comes to diagnosing a problem, if it's something I don't know, I would really stand up and shout for advice. I would send out mail. I would send out Skype messages. I'm talking about problems that I don't know, that I cannot fix myself. And even if I do think that I can fix the problem, if it occurs in the following day, I will then say, look, I've worked on this yesterday, it doesn't work. Whatever I did is not working. Is there anybody out there that can help me? And the biggest frustration about doing that is the client then, they seem to get agitated with you, calling them for the second day. There's nobody really out there to help you. The very few that knows where the server are, that can help you.
What about within the store?
Within the store. They either they're not there, they're not available, or they're not interested, and they're quite blunt in the route to you.
And what about the Spar distribution centers? Because we're supposed to contact them as well. How does that work?
Spar Distribution Center, I use it as a last resort. Okay. If it cannot be solved internally, or like Bazaar Spar.
Do you have to notify the DC before you, the distribution center, before you contact the client?
No, I contact the client before. If I don't come right with the client, I then contact the distribution center. But should it work the other way around, sometimes I do call them up for the correct phone number. The phone numbers of the stores is changing. And so it's not what we have on our VPN list.
Okay.
What's the most important thing for you to do before you log on a client server?
The most important thing to do is to call the client up, let him know that you're going to be on his server. Because somebody might be busy there and they can catch you. In actual fact, they can actually trace you back from where you come.
Thanks, Theo.
Okay.
Well done.